When you combine operational excellence or high performance with a glad to be here mindset, now you got breakthrough performance. It's a game changer. I want to take you into a place you operate in every single day. I'm going to call this the high performance zone. It's simply the gap between where you are and where you want to go. How do you close the gap? I mean, how do you create awe? You know, don't we want to do that every day? This event is about awe. You can feel it from the moment you walked in, right? So how do you create that in every aspect of your life?
You know, it's all about inspiring others and inspiring greatness in others that's already there, but how they can make a bigger impact in this world.
Let's join John Foley in his cockpit here. Let's go, guys.
If you want to increase execution, let's focus on trust first. Because I have a belief if you increase trust, execution will follow. So how did we do it? How did we do it? We did it with what I call high trust contracts. I remember looking out there sometimes, his nose was canted, and I'd go, man, I hope he corrects. He'd go by so close, you could see my head get thumped from the airflow going over the canopy. Meanwhile, I got to recage my brain. Why? I have 29 other maneuvers to do in the next 30 minutes. So you think you got a lot of challenges, right? You know, you do. A lot of speed, a lot of things going on. Communication, coordination, clarity, all extremely important. So here's the question. What contracts do you have right now? Maybe even more important, which are the ones you can make with your partners? The people right in this room. This is the time to do it, by the way. This is when you're in person. To look someone in the eye and say, you can count on me, I'm going to count on you. It's very powerful. It's very powerful.
Plain and simple, John Foley's the best speaker I have ever seen. And what he does is take that Blue Angel message and then he takes the time to tailor it to the audience. He'll call out people by name. He does his homework. He connects with folks. He mixes and mingles on site with your community and just delivers enormous value to that community. Anybody who's in the high performance business, which is really anybody who's a professional, is intrigued by the lessons learned from the Blues and John's innate, incredible ability to translate it to your world.
Wow, you know, we're doing over 100, done that the last 4 years in a row. It's a blessing, right? Because we're able to impact so many people. I've been in 4 cities in the last 4 days. I've been in 12 events in the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's powerful.
As a Blue Angel, teamwork is foundational. How do organizations ensure each member of the team is focused and understands how vital their contributions are?
Yeah, I think with teamwork, it's like with anything, the first thing we need to do is paint the picture. You know, paint the picture of what high performance, high teamwork looks like. And that's why I took the time as leaders here to first paint the picture of how we got there. But at the end of the day, everybody had their role. We trusted everyone to do their job. You know, Belichick said it this way. First off, just do your job. I think that's the first part of teamwork. Second part is become world class at what you're doing. And then the third part, and this is the most important part, teach someone else. Glad to be here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I love them. Are you? Thank you. Here you go. Help me hold this, baby.
That was truly the best speech I have ever heard in my life. Wow. Sincerely.
So I want to talk about actually going beyond high performance. And in high performance, there's a pyramid. I'll call it majority, many, few, and the 1%. Everybody in this room already knows this. So this right here, this represents not the 1%.
This represents 1/10 of 1/10 of 1% of all the pilots in the world. Hundreds of thousands of pilots, tens of thousands of tactical jet pilots. Only 6 of us ever got to wear this helmet. Here's what's interesting. 3 of us renew every year. So we're in a constant state of growth. We're in a constant state of learning. Sounds a lot like you right now. Whether you're growing and learning, you're constantly bringing in all the new people that are in this room today. It's powerful, right? So how do you do that at an elite high level, year in, year in, year in, year in? I think you do it with a culture. And that's what I think this helmet really represents, is a culture. It's a culture of excellence and also a culture of caring. And I think you need both.
Glad to be here was a statement we had on the Blue Angels. Actually, it was more like a mantra. Here's what it meant. Every day we reminded ourselves just how fortunate we were to have the job we had. Most people say that's a pretty cool job, right? But it wasn't just about the job. It's about the people we surrounded ourselves with. It's about the impact we could make on other people's lives. And I think that's what's special about today. I mean, look around this room. It's pretty cool. You know, it's not that we're just here in an amazing location. It's more about who you're with and this thirst to get better and this thirst to make a difference. I mean, to me, that's what it's all about.
Where do you get your energy?
It's natural.
Were you always like this?
Well,
you're
yeah.
a very driven person. Like you said, you have several degrees. I mean, you were a fighter pilot. You have several degrees.
You know, it really is one thing.
What's that?
It's a purpose larger than self. My energy comes from not eating well and working out, which I do. That's not where this energy that I think you're feeling comes from. It comes from a mission, a purpose. And I think we all need to connect to our own purpose. And one thing we talk about when we speak to organizations is, you know, what's that purpose? And then what's the purpose which is larger than self? And that second piece is what will get you up every morning. It'll keep you from burning out, because otherwise at some point, you're going to burn out.
John Foley, Gucci, wow, what a force of nature. It was really like being in the same room with John Wooden, in that every time in the 43-year relationship that I had with Coach Wooden, I left a better human being. He has the substance, he has the discipline, he has the focus and the concentration, but he also has the empathy. Understanding that the concept of the team is just so critically important to group success. And what I was able to learn from John Foley will stay with me for the rest of my life.
The only reason that little girl truly cared about meeting me had actually very little to do about me personally, but everything to do about this gold helmet, everything to do about that blue flight suit. And I remember feeling something in my heart that day. You all know this. You know, why do you get up every morning? Why do you overcome the challenges that are in front of us, especially with the pace of change today? I believe it's because you have a purpose larger than self. And what's cool is, you see behind me, is that goes throughout the whole organization. You know, I see the techs in these pictures. I see everybody connected to that vision of making a difference. It's pretty cool, right? We've all been exposed to it. It's pretty cool when it all comes together. What I'm really talking to you about is what I call the fearless success system. Remember how we talked about the vision, plan, execute, feedback loop? This is much more subtle. It's not about vision, it's about beliefs. Of course you need a vision, but it's the commitment and buy-in to the beliefs. The brief, that's the preparation, that's the focus. We align on a center point. This is getting the alignment. And then when you look at the trust is the high trust, the execution through that. And then the debrief is incredibly powerful, and we unpacked some of that with you right here today. But the glad to be here, that arrow, is what changes the game. You see, the glad to be here, what it does is it resets belief levels, and then you get a spiraling up process to high performance. Okay, let's do this. Let's unpack that debrief real quick. Okay, I wanna unpack it with you. Share out with me. Somebody just share out. What did you observe in that room that you found interesting or powerful? I'll repeat it so everybody can hear it. So what did you see in that room? Right there, tell me. Exactly, so I'll repeat it so everybody hear it. He said the I statement, there was accountability. They said what they did was wrong, not pointing fingers. Huge, you saw accountability. Actually, I think what you really saw in that room was personal responsibility. Let me ask you a question. Do you think fighter pilots have egos? So what we said is check your ego at the door. See, what you saw in that room was humility, genuine humility. Of course we knew you were good. We wouldn't have hired you. The idea here is about the we, not the I. So you saw the humility. And then what was the last statement? Glad to be here. Okay, that's the secret sauce. Don't forget that. That's the secret sauce. So actually, you just unpacked it for me. Here's the 5 dynamics. These is exactly what you just told me. The first is a safe environment, respect. We said humility, check your ego at the door. There's this openness, this honesty, this lay it on the table. There's this own it and fix it mentality, the accountability. And then of course you have the glad to be here and the gratitude, and that's the secret sauce. Because you can have those first 4 and you'll improve. But watch over time, it can be a negative process. When you add the glad to be here, it turns it into a positive process and becomes hugely powerful. Glad to be here is a life expression. It's how you live your life. And how do you trigger it? It's habituation, it's being grateful, it's thankfulness. It's really about gratitude. The more that I remind myself just how fortunate I am, the better my life goes, the better my day goes. And what I realized is you then have more opportunities to impact more people and to enjoy life even more. So glad to be here is a mindset, but it's really a way of life.